This is Pastors Live, a Rev FM production podcast. Join Pastors Dave, Ty, and Shane for a fresh, fun, and often unpredictable take on faith, the Bible, and the world around us.
And it's Pastors Live. It's Thursday. It's June 12th. The snow has stopped. So...
Has it?
Yeah, well, yeah. Has it really? I mean, it's June in Idaho. Has the snow really?
Yeah, we don't know.
Really stopped? Yeah, well, we were talking the other week, we got snow and just at the Utah border and up near Jackson. So I was like, well, it's Idaho.
Yeah.
You know what the nice thing about snow in June is in Idaho?
What's up?
All the mosquitoes die, and so the week of camping after that is awesome.
That is true.
So, yeah, so they don't.
That was a good thing.
They don't do well, but of course, then the week after that, it's game on as far as DEET goes. But
worse.
Hey, we've got some wonderful people here in the studio today. We've got Gary Austin, the voice of the valley, the man, the myth, the legend.
Guys.
We're so thankful for him
morning,
and everything
Gary.
that he does.
For you guys,
and he makes us sound like we're not dumb. So
you guys aren't dumb.
We're really thankful for Gary making us sound like we're smart. But then we also have in the studio today, Pastor Dave is here today.
Hey, God bless you guys.
And I'm Pastor Ty. I'm here today.
Ty?
Pastor Shane is out, not feeling well today. But we have Tiffany Kidd is here with us today.
Tiffany.
Hi,
Hello,
Tiffany.
hello.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
and it's nice to have you here in the studio today. And we're probably going to if you're here, we're probably talking about VBS and VBS Extreme, huh?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit. Okay, yeah. We're going to talk about kids stuff because you're here today for sure. So we're going to get into that here in just a few minutes. But as we get started, Tiffany, do you believe that? What do you think? Bigfoot? Yes or no? We were talking about this last few days.
I don't know. I'd say if one. That's.
Are you really? It's kind of sus. You thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll be honest with you. I've seen a whole bunch of videos recently that make me think Bigfoot might be a little bit more real. I'm just saying.
I'd hang out with him.
You'd hang out with Bigfoot. How about Yeti? Are you up for Yeti?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Yeti.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because it's in the snow, so I'm not that big of a fan.
Oh, you're not. Oh, yeah, Gary, you're more Yeti
Gary
then.
is
Yeah.
Yeti.
You're more Yeti
I'm
than you are.
more
Okay.
Yeti.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, so the reason that we bring that up, we had a interesting email that came in because we were talking about all of that, and of course, this is from Amanda, and she's in Soda Springs, Idaho. What's up, Amanda?
Hey.
We're so glad for you.
Such a pretty area down
Yeah,
there.
I know.
I
We
love
love that down there. We used to have a radio station down there actually years and years ago, and then. Yeah, I almost died fixing that radio station.
Remember you telling me
that. There were some boo-boos that were made there, and so, but she says this: bedbugs, really? Bigfoot? Who comes up with these? I didn't. First of all, I didn't make the bed bug, and I don't know about Bigfoot. So, but the issue is, she says, I will go with it. She's making a joke, right?
Yeah.
Bedbugs can ruin sleep and well-being. Sin can disrupt our spiritual health and hinder our relationship with God. And so she makes a little connection. She says, like bedbugs, sin can be insidious, unnoticed until it impacts and its impact is felt. Yeah. And then she says, love you guys. And so that's a good point.
It's a good image.
Yeah, that's a good image.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden your sin kind of creeps up on you and it gets overwhelming. And so I think that was really good. I think one of those things, Dave, when we talk about those issues is like dealing with sin when it's small is important.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's much easier to deal with it at the very beginning than when it has overwhelmed your life, overwhelmed your marriage, your family, your relationships. We deal with that all the time. With as pastors, we unfortunately have to deal with folks who are picking up a lot of broken pieces because, early on, perhaps when they were warned that, hey, that little habit is going to be overwhelming at some point, and people are like, oh, no, it's good. It's just a little bright spot in my day. It's just a little pick-me-up or whatever it is. And suddenly, their life is in a heap of ruins, and you're out making house calls at 9, 10, 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, and picking up, people who are trying to pick up pieces. And you can go back so many times, right, Ty, and say, doggone it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we sat in my office, or we talked after church on a Sunday morning, and we talked about this. And that little fun little thing you were doing, that little flirting, that little line of Coke, or whatever it is, whatever the sin is, that you thought you were controlling, you don't control the dragon controls you.
Yeah, and that's
a heartbreak.
And that's the illusion, right? The illusion is I'm in control. I get to make my choices. And of course, it comes around and eventually it consumes us. And I think that's why it's important. It's great to have Tiffany here because we're going to talk about Kids Men. We're also going to talk about the VBS and VBS Extreme. But this idea that we need to deal with things when they're small kind of brings us to that point of teaching our children too to deal with stuff in their life, deal with anger, attitude, lying, deal with those things. And so that requires moms and dads to be super engaged, but also it requires the church to be engaged. And we are coming alongside parents. And so the children's ministry programs, all the stuff we do, we're coming alongside parents to help them in their parenting, and we're reinforcing those things the kids are learning at home, because Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he won't depart from it." Or even when he's old is another way to look at that particular word there. And even when he's old, he will not depart from it. I think that, the idea is we want to set people up for success, and we want to tell them, hey, this is the right way to do things. And so Tiffany, when we're getting ready, and of course we have a couple things that we'd love to talk to you about, but we have VBS Extreme, so tell us about that. And then we also have VBS, which is True North. And then how can people get involved, and kind of talk to us about your story too, a little bit about VBS, because that changed your life.
You want all of it? Okay.
Oh yeah, let's bring it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it all.
All right, so VBS Extreme is our closest one to us. We go to all sorts of places. We're going to be going to Utah this year and going to some fun stuff there. We're going to do some jump houses, but most importantly, we have in-depth Bible studies with these kids, and then they break off into small groups and they have in-depth discussions, and then they get to apply those Bible studies that we're going through. Like last year we went through talking about fear, conquering fear, and I had a kid that was up on the zip line however many feet up high.
When we talk VBS Extreme, we were talking extreme.
Yeah, we go zip lining, we do all the things, right?
Yeah. Are we skydiving? Is that why we're going to Utah?
Man, I wish.
No, I don't think
Steve
we
would be okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think we can get a waiver that thick. Yeah, I don't think there's a VBS waiver.
I'd be
for
up
that
for
one.
it though.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to jump out of an airplane?
Absolutely.
Dave?
Why?
Okay, Gary?
Yeah, I would.
Okay,
Yes,
has anybody
let's
here
do it, Gary.
Yeah.
Has anybody here jumped out of an airplane?
No.
No. Okay.
Never
All right.
have.
All right, just checking.
Team building
on the
exercise?
tarmac, I've jumped out onto the stairs.
Oh my word.
Yeah, I don't. You know
on the
what?
ground on terra firma.
Yeah. So the next time I'm on a tarmac, I'm gonna skip the last step and jump so I can say I did.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So okay. All right.
Wow.
So all right, moving back to it. Okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we're just to clarify. We're not doing skydiving for VBS Extreme
No.
this year.
This year.
Yes. So yes.
Yeah.
So okay.
This year's
But
safe.
This year's we're good this year.
But we'll definitely have some ideas for years to come.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, so last year we talked about conquering fear, and I had they're 5th and 6th graders. I had a kiddo that was just terrified of doing the zip line and tears and shaking, but they wanted to apply the truths that they heard throughout the week, and they jumped off and they ended up having the best time. Like,
Nice.
couldn't stop smiling the whole time. And after they made that initial jump, and they were so proud that they were able to, I trusted in God, and that I was able to take that leap, and I can do that in other areas of my life. So it was so cool just to see that, just that initial impact of their studies. But so yeah, that's Extreme. Stream is a week long, and I absolutely love it. We get so connected with these kids and lifelong friendships that come out of it. And then we have VBS, which is a week-long 500 kids, 150 volunteers.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it's super fun, though. And this year, we're talking about who is our true north and how we can focus on true north and not get kind of shaken by the world's, what they like to try to say north, but not really. It's their magnetic north. So, kids are going to be learning that when they wander, when they feel alone, when they feel powerless, when they need hope, and when they need help, that they can trust in Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now the VBS Extreme is for 5th and 6th graders.
5th and 6th graders.
The bigger kids, right?
Yep.
And we bus them all over. It's a joy. And you guys doing the sleepover and everything again this year?
Sleepover, all the things, yeah.
So, well, sleepover / lock-in kind of, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, So, I don't know. The last lock-in I did was 2001, I think was the last time I did an actual lock-in. But the one we did in 2000, from 99 to 2000 was we had 380 kids,
That's
teenagers.
amazing. Yeah, I don't think I would want to do that.
Yeah,
but
that was a long night. Dave, when was your last lock-in that you remember doing?
I don't do lock-ins.
Oh, you never do a lock-in?
We never did a lock-in. When I was a youth pastor, you mean?
Yeah.
No, we did sleepovers and all of that, but I never really did a lock-in. If I'm being honest, and I don't want to be a poo-poo here, our pastor wasn't into it, and so I didn't push it. We did sleepovers, and we did fundraisers for Compassion International and World Vision and that kind of thing, but our pastor just wasn't into the lock-in thing, so I just never pushed it. And by the time I was done with... by the time I got moved to another area of family ministry out of youth ministry, family ministry doesn't lend itself to lock-ins. So
No, camps, no. It lends itself to camps and other things.
right now, when I was a pastor and had guys on our youth had youth pastors on my staff, they did lock-ins, and that would have been back in early 2000s. And of course, I think they're effective. But
they have their challenges, but they're a lot of fun.
Yeah. They do.
So the VBS Extreme is for the big kids. There's a lot going on, and then for the VBS, the regular VBS are
4 years old to 4th grade.
4 years old to 4th grade, and it's a zoo around here when that happens. Just so everybody knows.
I mean, an organized chaos.
Yes, a joyful, organized chaos.
Yes.
And so what we have here, so the dates are, and VBS Extreme's coming up. It's June 22nd through the 27th, right? So they need to get registered. How can they do that?
So online, and we only have a very small amount of slots open because we can only allow so many kids to come on that one.
Right, because of busing and things like that. So if you want to do VBS Extreme, you gotta
get registered.
Got to get registered.
Yeah.
And so they can do that. You can do that at watersprings.net. And so you can also, if you're having trouble with that, you can call the office
or email me at Tiffany@watersprings.net.
Tiffany@watersprings. Is that IEY? How to?
Oh, it's the 80s baby spelling. TIFFANY.
Oh,
Normal.
Oh, yeah, normal.
Yeah,
the normal. Yeah. The normal Tiffany. Okay. Tiff Annie. Okay.
Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiff Annie. Tiff Annie at watersprings.net. Call the office, check out the website. And that's coming up really fast.
Yes.
And so just so everybody knows, that's just 2 weeks away.
Yep.
Right? That's just 2 weeks away.
11 days.
11. Wow.
No, not even that.
Wow, that is. Oh, yeah.
What's today?
The 11th.
to 12th.
The 12th.
Today is the 12th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Today
we
is
have
the
a
12th.
few days. I can't do math.
Numbers are hard.
Numbers are hard.
Point being, you need to get your kids registered.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
You have 24 minutes.
Yes.
How's that?
Perfect.
Nice turnaround.
I like
Done
it.
now.
Yes.
Yes, get it
What are
done.
you waiting for?
Right? But then the VBS, the True North for the younger kids, that is in August, correct? And no, that's
July.
July.
Yep.
See, I can't do any numbers today. July 27th through August 1st, because right after that is Church of the Park.
Yep.
And so, but they also can register in the same ways, right?
Same way. Yep. It's right
Okay.
next to each other. Yeah.
Okay. And is there a cost for these?
So for VBS Extreme, there is a cost, but that is only to cover their excursions, their adventures that we go on. It's nothing else. It's just for the group effort of that cost. And then for the regular VBS, there is no cost unless you want to buy a T-shirt or a CD or any extra things that we have available.
Oh, in other words, VBS merch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they can get VBS
Which is
merch,
really
but there's
cute
no
this year.
cost to just come and attend
Absolutely
and be part
not.
of it,
Yep.
be blessed.
Just drop them off and come have fun.
Oh, right on.
And speaking
Volunteer.
of being blessed at VBS, I know some of our listeners have heard your testimony before, but before we went hot on the mics, Pastor Ty made the point that VBS changed your life.
Absolutely.
And I love hearing, Ty and Gary do too, we love hearing your testimony every year. So why is VBS so stinking important to you, Tiffany
Holy
kid?
cow, how long do I have? Okay.
Not long. You
You
have
got
24 seconds.
Yeah,
okay.
you got 5 minutes. Yeah, you got 5.
Okay, so
About as long as people have to register their kids for VBS.
perfect. So
Extreme.
while they're listening, they get online.
Yeah, register right now.
Register their kids. So when I was a kid, I was sexually abused, and I went through some really hard, difficult situations, family life. And my aunt was a believer, so we lived in Pocatello. My aunt lived in Driggs, and she would come and pick me up, take me all the way back to Driggs, keep me for a week, and take me to Vacation Bible School in Driggs, in the small little town, small little church. And she did that for several years. And, you know, I felt so completely unloved, so dirty, so shameful, so just miserable about myself in my little 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old self, right? And every time I would go to VBS, I would be filled with just love. And finally, one day at the end of VBS, we had our big celebration, and I still remember her face. I don't remember her name, but she sat down and she told me that she had no idea what was going on. And she told me how much that the God that created me, that loved me, that he loved me, that he had a purpose for my life, that I can trust in him, that I can follow him, and that he is going to be with me my whole life. She totally prophesied over me, and like, it was beautiful. I still remember it to this day, like picture perfect. And well, obviously I went back to my house, back to the same stuff, back to the things that were just ripping my soul apart. And I eventually turned to drugs. I turned into sexual activity and all the things, and I never stopped believing in the God that loved me, but at that point I truly believed that I was so dirty and so disgusting that he was allowing me to go through all this, and so I was thinking that I was this horrible person, and that I needed, then I turned to anger. And I was like, I'm mad at God for allowing this to happen. And so I wanted to punish him. So then the more things that I did, the worse. Like, I wanted to punish him. Never stopped believing in him. Actually had very many candid conversations with him. But I just wanted to hurt him. And went through that for a long time. Well, eventually I had 2 kids through a horrible relationship. And then I got married and had 2 little girls, and when they were 6 weeks old, they contracted whooping cough, and they both died in my arms, resuscitated, and Taylor ended up being hospitalized for a long time, and she full on coded all the things, and as soon as she turned completely blue, out of the corner of my eye, I saw my aunt, that had been taking me to Vacation Bible School, that I kind of pushed off and didn't want anything to do with her, just because I knew that she knew that I was not living a great life. And she walked in the hallway of the hospital. She had no clue that I was there.
Oh.
And she walked into my room, and I literally felt the Holy Spirit knock me. Like, I can still tangibly feel how it felt of just being overwhelmed. And then that very vivid VBS encounter with the lady that sat me down told me that he loves me. And it was like she was talking to me at that moment. And Taylor took a breath. And I told God, I said, if you save my little girl, you have my life. I will give you 100%. And, I didn't want to cry. I'm sorry. And I haven't.
I'm crying, so why are you not allowed to cry?
So I gave him my whole life at that moment.
Praise God.
And I haven't turned back since. And man, he's good. And
yes,
he has turned some beautiful things, they're horrible things, into beautiful things. And I know that VBS can change lives. I know that little seed, when they're little, they might not seem like they understand it, but they do. And that has been my life mission, is to make sure that we all know that God loves us, and that no matter what we go through, we can just rely on him. We can trust him. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for sharing with tears and all. Thank you so much. Listen, if you want to get your kids involved, check out the website at watersprings.net. We'd love to have your kids involved in VBS Extreme. Tiffany loves on all those kids, boy. Tell you what, she comes in and she loves them all, and it's a lot of effort. And so, hey, listen, if you are loved and you are family, we appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. Tiff, you can be okay over there?
I'm fine.
You're fine.
God's good.
God is good. Yes, he is. Thank you for sharing. I know that's a thing, so thank you so much.
I love sharing it because it just shows how good God is.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Pastors Live, a Rev FM production podcast. Join us again for more Bible talk, laughter, and unexpected tangents. Questions or feedback? Pastors Live at therev.fm. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.